Okay, today I'm going to show you how to glaze something that's too big to dunk into the bucket. This happens a lot of times when we make kind of more ambitious scaled work. So we've got this kind of large scale ceramic slab piece here, and I'm going to show you how to go about glazing that. The first thing you need to know is that you need to have like a setup. In the classroom we have this, it's like a basin, a plastic basin. Any bucket or basin that's washable will work. We have this cooling rack that we use to help elevate the piece in the bucket, but you can improvise. You can set anything in the basin or bucket just so that you can put your piece on it so it's not sitting in a puddle of glaze. This is going to catch all the glaze that we pour over the piece when we go to apply the glaze. So this piece here has an inside and an outside, and it has a lid. So I think the best way to approach glazing something large like this is to always glaze the inside first. That way if you get any drips when you pour the glaze out, you can always clean them up later. So as you know, you have to mix the glaze really well and make sure it's the right consistency, the consistency of heavy cream. You want to have a clean pouring container that I have right here. And what I'm going to do is scoop up some of the glaze. And this glaze is the black tea dust glaze that we have. And I'm just going to pour it inside my piece. And then I'm going to take the piece and I'm going to rock it all around. Ooh, there's a hole in the piece. The piece is not well constructed. And I'm just trying to get the entire interior of the piece coated with glaze. And then I'm just going to pour it out. And then I'm just going to check and make sure I didn't miss anywhere. And now I'm good to glaze the exterior of my piece. So I'm going to be pouring the glaze on here, and I want to create a situation so that it's the easiest way for me to get the most even coating. And because this piece has planes that angle downward, I'm going to use gravity as a way for me to control the pour. So I'm going to scoop some of the glaze up into my container. I'm going to try to do kind of one plane at a time, but it's going to get over most of the other sections. And you just want a nice even coating of glaze as best as you can keep it even. But when you're glazing something big, it's definitely more challenging to keep things even. And now I'm going to pick it up. And a little bit got on the inside. I'm going to pour it out. I'm just going to put it on the back. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Just try to get a nice even coating and catch anywhere where I might have missed. And then I'm going to turn it upright and let that glaze drip down off my piece. So I've poured a nice even coating over the piece. I've kept it fairly contained in my bucket here. All this extra glaze in the bottom of the bucket, I'm just going to pour back into my glaze container. We don't want to pour that down the drain. The materials in glaze are expensive and we don't want to waste them. So that's why we have this nice container. And you can see my piece is sitting on this rack, so it's not sitting in a pool of glaze as it dries. Then what I'm going to do is once it's relatively dry, I'm going to turn it. I'm going to take a sponge and clean the glaze off the bottom. Make sure that I don't have any glaze on the bottom of my piece. And I might take a couple rounds of cleaning to make that nice and clean. And then I'm also going to clean the edge of the piece where the lid fits, because if there's any glaze left on that edge, it will adhere itself together when I fire it. And then for my lid, here's my lid. I'm just going to take it and dunk it right in that bucket as I normally would. Take it out, let it drip. If you want to, you can glaze the interior part of the piece. It's really up to you. Let me show you how to do that. I'm just going to get it on that side also. Or you can leave it unglazed. And then we need to clean the edges of this piece too. So that this doesn't stick when we put it in the kiln. So I'm just going to finish cleaning it up, and then I'm going to put it on the glaze shelf, and then I'm going to pour this glaze right back in here so we don't waste. And then I'm going to carry all my tools over to the sink, rinse this stuff off, and put it back where I got it from.